found a little pinhole in the radiator. Hey, looks like you guys found the Southern Minnesota TV channel. And today we're going to be working on this John Deere Buck 650. Complete service needs to be done. It has a big coolant leak. It doesn't cool itself at all, even with coolant in it, and it doesn't shift while running. So those are three big things we're going to fix in this video, along with going mudding at the end. So we're just going to start tearing this apart until we find out at least one spot that it's leaking coolant, because it's leaking coolant everywhere. It has a lot of coolant leaks and overheats really bad. So let's find the leak. So what I'm doing here is heating up the knife blade, because we got to remove some plastic to get at the bolts holding this rack on. The radiator's in the back, so we got to remove the plastics to get to it. I didn't heat the knife up that much, but if you get the knife nice and hot, it just cuts through plastic like butter. So as I was saying earlier, the radiator is in the back. That's just a Bombardier design, because this is a Bombardier four-wheeler with John Deere labels on it. So then we got this rack taken off, and then we're going to figure out how to take these plastics off to reach everything in the radiator. There we are. The plastics for the rear are off. So I am wiring a switch up to this fan, because we found out the temperature sensor in the radiator is bad. So the owner before me found that out, and they wired up some sort of relay so that when you turn the key on, the fan is always on. And that wasn't working because we had a blown fuse here. So we put a new fuse in there, and now I'm just wiring up the switch so that for the first minute or so, when this thing gets warmed up, I'll just have the fan off. And the switch is up there by the mile per hour gauge. We'll just wire that up to here, and then we can turn the fan on when we want. So right there next to the speedo is the switch that I put in, and I'm wiring that up. And I'm just splicing it into one of the wires here that goes to the fan. So the last two clips of this four-wheeler were filmed on a brand new camera. Hopefully we have good sound and video, and that should be making YouTube a lot better now instead of using my iPhone. So I have the switch wired up. Now I'm going to turn the key on, and in theory the fan shouldn't turn on until I flip this switch, and then the fan should turn on. Okay, so my wiring is working. Now just a few zip ties here and there, a little bit of electrical tape in the connections, and the fan is ready to go. So upon further inspection of the coolant system on this John Deere four-wheeler, we came across mud in the radiator. It was like that along the whole bottom. So we took the radiator out to blow it out, and while it was out, we found a little pinhole in the radiator. So that's where it leaks. The biggest spot anyway. It leaks pretty much everywhere. I mean, but I'm not going to get everything fixed. But that's a main one, I'd say. So I'll have to get a different radiator, because I don't know how to repair these, and I don't know. For 40 bucks to buy a used radiator, why not just get a different one? So we're figuring stuff out with this coolant system. Hopefully we get it all good as new. So we're washing it off now without the plastics on, so we can get the engine really good. We have some degreaser that we'll be putting on. Try and get that thing really clean so we can spot the leaks where they are, because right now the whole thing's just dirty and wet. We're doing this because we're waiting for the radiator to come. Ordered a used one from eBay. So in this clip, we forgot to turn the microphone on the new camera. So I'm gonna just do a voiceover for this. I took the mile per hour gauge off the four-wheeler, and it's really fogged up. So instead of buying a new one, I'm just gonna try and use some headlight restorer and kind of polish it up. It won't clean the cracks off, but at least it gets it cleaner. And now we are about to drain the oil in the air filter box. It is supposed to be there. Don't worry, it is supposed to be oiled. But I think there was a little bit of excessive oil in here. So that's what we're doing now, draining the oil in the air filter. So I got the dash and this all thrown back on. So the switch for the fan is working. I put just a touch of two-stroke oil in the air filter box because that's what I had. I didn't put nearly as much as what was in it previously. So the new radiator came in the mail. Well, it's not new, it's used yet. But the thing about it is it doesn't have a hole in it. So, same temp sensor, doesn't work. And same cap, it was just the bare radiator. So now, before I put that in, I have to cut off the self-tappers that hold the fan on that went into the previous radiator. Okay guys, so this spring, there's two, one on each side. I feel like the suspension is really soft on this four-wheeler, so I'm gonna adjust those shocks. Show you how to do it here. So I did this on the other side to test if it would work, and it did. All I'm doing is using the channel lock and just twisting it. There is a tool they make for this. I don't have that tool. So a channel lock or a vice grip will work just fine. Okay, so there's one. And to match it with the other side that I already did, I gotta go one more. And the other side went easier than this. Okay, just like that, they're adjusted, and I didn't even lift the four-wheeler up to take the tension off this spring, and I did it with the tires on. So it's that easy. So again, we were having problems with the camera. New to the camera, not used to it. But here I'm just telling you that I used fuel line on the end of the gear loop to put it into the differential. Just use that as the funnel. Here I'm holding the old spark plug, and in the poor lighting showing you that it was running a little bit rich, but I'm gonna leave it alone because it's not that bad, and I'm throwing a new spark plug in anyway, just to have a new spark plug in there since we're doing a complete service on this four-wheeler. Well, since it's 100 degrees, 101 for a high today, and I'd say we're at the high. I have a fan going in the background. That's what's making that noise. But if I haven't told you guys yet, we're going to be taking these wheels off this four-wheeler and repainting them black, just the outside of the rim, just to make it look better. Because especially the front, those are getting pretty faded. So sorry about the wind noise, but we're just going to take these off real quick. It's jacked up in the air. So now I'm going to be tearing this cover off to get to the belt and clutch, because I'll put a new belt on. It was only $70 and I have such little stuff in this four-wheeler. I figured it's worth it, especially since I'm realizing comparing this 650 to a 500, I think the 500 Arctic Cat has more power. I'm hoping that's just a belt. And I'm going to also look at the clutch because it shifts hard while it's running, and that's usually a clutch issue. And hopefully I don't need to buy a new one. Even if the clutch is the problem, we're just gonna live with it. I don't want to use. I don't want to pay $1,200 for a whole new clutch.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go, go, go.
So there we go, the cover is off. Only thing is, this was full of water. A whole bunch of water came out when I took this off. So, I don't know. That's not good. Not good at all. So I got the clutch and everything off. The belt for sure looks like it needs to be replaced. So with this clutch, you can see that these weights here, they hold themselves up. They don't move freely, whereas this one moves freely. So that's what we're trying to get, freely moving weights. So hopefully, if I get these going freely, then that clutch won't engage I'm sorry, at idle, and then we can shift while it's running. So this is the stuck one. Now I'll just buzz this bolt out so we can actually get some good lube on there. Free it up. Okay, so I was just putting this belt on here. And what I did was thread a bolt into here, because there's 3 holes here. One of them has threads. And if you thread it in long enough, it'll spread those 2 parts of the clutch apart. And then that belt will slide right in there. Nice groove. And then you'll have lots of slack in your belt to put it on the front. And it works really good that way. Now I'll just back this bolt out and install the rest of the primary clutch. So, got a new oil filter from Napa. So now we got to take this bolt off there. I don't know if I showed you guys taking the filter off earlier, so we're going to go through it now. Just one screw, bolt I mean, and not that size. For this four-wheeler, it's I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a KN556. Can't hardly see it, but that's the filter number. And I believe that it doesn't matter which way this goes in. Just like that. And pop that back on there. And it's that easy. Okay, 17 millimeter. We'll take the drain plug out. And then I have this close to the edge of the cement so that when it overfills this little pan that I have here, little bucket, then it won't hurt my feelings because it's outside old cement. And that oil was drained and new oil put in my last video, my latest video. Yeah, it's gonna flow over that really fast. Okay, anyway, this was new oil in my last video. You can watch that on my channel. But I didn't change the filter in that video, so I'm just doing it again and changing the filter with it. You can never change your oil too much. Okay, so off camera, I took the screen out. That's the 5-bolt cover that's on the bottom of the engine below it by the drain plug. It's 5 bolts holding that on. I took that off and cleaned out the oil screen. It wasn't that dirty, so that's good. We installed the drain plug again. Oil filter's all installed. So we should be good to put new oil in it. So I have some 10W40. And I don't remember how much was supposed to be in here from whatever, a month and a half ago when I last put oil in it. So you're gonna find out with me. So that was a full quart, right on the max line. So that was about 2 1/4 quarts. Just an estimation for you guys out there trying to do this. So sorry for the lighting in the last clip, but now we are getting it all put back together because we are done working on it, throwing the plastics back on, the rack back on, getting it all ready to go for a test drive to see if it'll shift for one, and actually cool itself for two, because that'd be pretty neat. So getting ready, really close, not too far from a test drive. So it started right up and it drove out of the shed. It's doing great. So far it doesn't overheat, and well, as you guys can see, it shifts while running. So the clutch was fixed and the radiator was fixed. So we're pretty much trail ready now. It's too bad that the camera wasn't working, the microphone wasn't working in this clip. But yeah, runs and drives great. Alright, let's go get some seat time on this freshly serviced John Deere Buck 650. Okay, so we're taking a quick look at it. The fan is on. We're not dripping coolant. Not dripping oil. No steam or smoke from anywhere, so it's all looking good so far. So we have this really shallow river here, and I'm going to be taking the buck through it to see if it'll make it. It has four-wheel drive, so it should make it, in theory. Let's test it out. So that run was in high gear. And the one before that was in low gear. I think low gear does better. I think it just needs that extra torque. But it makes it through like a breeze. I actually love this four-wheeler, especially when it does that. But yeah, this four-wheeler is awesome. I love it. So much fun. And now we even have a cooling fan and a non-plugged radiator without a leak in it. Yeah. So I feel like this was a really good second video on this four-wheeler. We fixed all the problems that I know about on it. Overheating, the not shifting. That's pretty much all we fixed, but then we just did the full, all oil changes, all filters and everything. I really had fun with this, and fun four-wheeler to drive around in. Please leave any comments down below. Tell me what you think of it. Tell me anything I could do better. And thanks for watching.